welcome to all my Flosstube neighbors. I am Chris, and this is Xrossstitch, and today is Tuesday, May the 10th, 2022, and this is Flosstube number 48. Now, last week I said 46. It was really 47. So today is 48. And if you are a new viewer, welcome to the neighborhood. I am so thrilled to have you joining me today. I hope you like what you see. This is a channel primarily about cross-stitching, but we talk about a lot more than just cross-stitching here in this neighborhood, and you are most welcome. I hope that you like what you see enough to subscribe and like the video and ring the bell and all that jazz, and we'll be returning here each week to join us in the fun. If you are a returning viewer, you are the neighborhood. You're my extended family all across this great country, and yea, verily, the world. Viewers from all over the globe, and it thrills me to have you here and to hear from you. So please do keep those comments coming. I am completely caught up on responding to all of you. It's just been so joyful for me to do that. And I am glad to hear from each of you every single week. I hope that you've had a good week. I hope that you have cristed up if you have needed to do so over the past week. And I had a great week of stitching. I'm excited to show you what I've done, some things you probably haven't seen in a while, even though I had a visit from the frog. And it was kind of a major visit, but more on that later. We need to start the video just as we start the video each and every week. That was an unnecessary cut, but oh well. Each week we start Xrossstitch by naming Handstanding Cat. Say it with me, people. Handstanding Cat is the top of Tiki Tree of 1,000 Faces. This is a piece of teak driftwood that stands in the corner of my bedroom, and it used to be behind me in the videos, and may be again, but you all saw so many different faces and images and shapes in it. It was given the name Tiki Tree of 1,000 Faces, and the very top of that tree looks like a hand-standing cat. We name it each week. It is one of the mascots of Xrossstitch, and this week Handstanding Cat is named by I do it beforehand, so I have to look at Rosemary Z. Rosemary Z has named Handstanding Cat Chopper, which is rather appropriate for a cat made of wood. Chopper. I love that name, Chopper. It makes me think of false teeth. Specifically George Washington's wood, but you know his teeth weren't wood. That is a little known fact. George Washington's wooden teeth that we all heard so much about were not actually made of wood. No. I do think they were made of other human teeth and animal teeth, and hold on, I'm going to Google this. Animal teeth, human teeth, lead, and ivory. We're just going to leave it at that. Thank you, Rosemary, for naming Handstanding Cat Chopper this week. And now on to the cross-stitching. As I said, I had a really productive week. And the reason was I turned to my whip go board, which I don't want to, none of these things that I have going, the Fruits of Plenty, the whip go board, all of these things that I have in my collected works in progress, I don't really want to leave for too terribly long. And I know for a while now, I've been more focused on just a relatively few things and not many of them. And I haven't started anything new. If you've noticed, I haven't really bought anything new. I'm more of I have this many works in progress, and I'm gonna finish them down before I start adding more to. I just don't think I'll ever be one of those people with 47 whips, which is fantastic if you have 47 whips or 84 whips, whatever. But that's not me. I have to, I'm more goal oriented. So the Whip Go board is something that I revisited, and I didn't want to get behind again because I didn't successfully complete the projects that were called in March or April. So for May, one of my Whip Go board projects called was my beautiful, beautiful Mirabilia, which is Miss Cherry Blossom. Miss Cherry Blossom is a tribute piece to my Uncle Jimmy, ironically. You wouldn't necessarily, you hear that and you think, well, Uncle Jimmy wasn't a geisha, so what was going on there? But if you go back into my videos, you can find the story of why I associate this with my Uncle Jimmy and his time in the beautiful, beautiful country of Japan. This is just amazing. My goal for this was 7 days of stitching. A day for me is not necessarily a full day, it's a concentrated block of stitching in which I feel as if I've made significant progress. So if that happens in 3 hours, that's a day. If that happens over the course of 8 hours, that's a day. I usually won't count it if it's just like an hour or so, but if I fly during that hour, I do count it. But I have completed my 7 days on Miss Cherry Blossom for this month. You of course, you're seeing the progress now. My goodness, what a gorgeous stitch this is, and how enjoyable. But I will tell you what happened. I stitched a portion of, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know the section and the story. Over the course of one evening and then the next morning, I completed a section of the skirt. And then as I was continuing on that next day, I noticed that I had omitted a single line of 3 stitches, which caused everything thereafter to, of course, be off and could not be fixed. There was just no way that it could be fixed without totally screwing up the entire skirt. And the skirt, I mean, Mirabilias. If you just have to do it the right way. There are occasionally places where you can fudge, but when you omit a line, you've got to rectify it. So I did. I ripped it all out. Took me longer to rip out than it did to sew. But it was worth it, and I got it all back in that same day, and even more. I love this piece. It is so gorgeous. I've already started thinking about my next Mirabilia, and I said I haven't bought anything. I did buy one thing that I'm going to start as part of Spooky Summer Stitch this summer. Another Nora Corbett. I got one of the Bewitching Pixies. I got that Minerva. That one. And the reason I got, I wanted to show you. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. I went to get this, and this is fiber. So bad. I'm just rambling so badly today. But this is okay. We're gonna say that this is all connected because it really is all connected. So Miss Cherry Blossom that you just saw is on a beautiful piece of fabric by Fiberlicious, of which I am a subscriber to the monthly fabric. That particular fabric, inspired by cherry blossoms, appropriate for Miss Cherry Blossom, is called Cheerific. And I recently received my monthly fabric from Fiberlicious. And if you've not seen it, this is the April fabric of the month. You need to look away now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's called Queen Crepe Myrtle. This is so gorgeous. And I saw it and I immediately knew what I was going to stitch on it. This is going to be my next Nora Corbett fabric. And I'm going to do Minerva on this, which I think is going to be absolutely gorgeous. Because she is, as you're seeing now, I'm going to put the photograph of what that design looks like. I think that on this is going to be absolutely gorgeous. And I have a crepe myrtle this color in my yard, believe it or not. But this is just beautiful. I am such a fan of Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers fabrics. I get the Aida in 16 count. Did you see what I did? Did you hear what I did there? 16 count Aida. This is a piece 17 inches by 26 inches. I think this will be perfect for that. So, not necessarily rambling. That's how all this ties together. Miss Cherry Blossom completed my Whip Go square for that particular May number call. The other one for May is, oh, it's a page finish on Quaker Christmas. It's a page finish on Quaker Christmas. I got to get that one out. I think I can do it. Quaker Christmas moves fast because you just, I'll put a little picture of it in. Quaker Christmas moves quickly, but it's a lot of stitching. We'll see. I might be able to get it done. Maybe I'll work on that tonight. Anyway, that's my first work in progress of 2. Moving right along. I do a lot of grooming before I record, you know, and last week I got a fabulous comment that, and I mean that sincerely, that one side of my mustache was longer than the other. So do you know how much time I spent on that today? I hope it's even this week. I think part of it's the angle. You know, like, I mean, I stand in the mirror and I put my mouth through all sorts of contortions to make sure that it's even. But sometimes this caterpillar has a mind of its own. It just does. Oh well, I'll try to do better. Now the next piece I worked on over the course of the week was also prompted by my Whip Go board. However, this is not a current call. This isn't May. It hasn't been called thus far. But I have a square on my Whip Go board that simply says Spirits of the Dead Finish. Because I am within easily a month of finishing, or rather in a month's time, finishing the wonderful Spirits of the Dead part of the Dark Crosses line by my friend Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery. This is a gorgeous piece. I'm sure you've seen it before. A quote from Edgar Allan Poe's wonderful poem, Spirits of the Dead. And I am doing this inverted, meaning it was originally charted dark floss on a lighter parchment colored background. I was speaking with Jacob one day, we were chatting, and I told him that I wanted to do it as an inversion. I wanted to do it on a black charcoaly dark background with a bone colored floss, and he inverted the chart and now has it available on his website as an option so that you can stitch this way as well. And I just love it. I'm doing this on, again, a 16 count Aida fabric that I dyed. I dipped in it was a gray to begin with, and I dipped it in black and made it this color, and I just love it. And I picked it up, and the reason I'm working on this is because I know that will be called, and I want to mark it off. I want to get it done. And even if I get it done beforehand, I can still color that square in and be a little bit ahead of the game. But I ran out of sulky. For some reason, I thought that when I had ordered this color, I had ordered a 3-pack of it. I was wrong. This color came in a neutrals pack of Sulky. And it was just the perfect shade. So I didn't have any more and I used it all up. So it's on the way from 123 Stitch. And as soon as I get it back, I'm going to dive back into that one because I do love stitching on it. And I know that I can finish it within a few weeks' time if I work a little bit on it every single day. So that was my second work in progress, The Amazing Spirits of the Dead by Modern Folk Embroidery. This week I have a very special edition of The Neighbor's Corner to share with you. And this was a submission that I received a few months ago and wanted to, it's a special little story, and it touched me so much, and I know it's going to impact a lot of you as well. This is a wonderful story of kindness and collaboration and cooperation in the memory of a very wonderful gentleman. But this comes to us from our neighbor in the UK, Sue H. Sue sent me several photographs that you were about to see of a project that she and several others worked on together collaboratively to provide wonderful things for a wonderful place inspired by a wonderful man. So I'm going to just read you this story. It's not very long, and I'll read you the story as you look at some of these photographs of this amazing project. So here we go. Back in 2010, my dad was diagnosed with terminal stomach cancer, and over the short time he had left, he received wonderful care from our local hospice, St. Clair, here in Essex in the UK. One afternoon, as we were sitting looking out over the hospice gardens, he made a comment that he would like his lap quilt, which was a gift from my friend Nikki. Now, Nikki lives in Switzerland, and we meet on an online crafting forum. By the time I had left him that evening, Dad and I had hatched a plan to make 9 lap quilts and cushions for each of the rooms at the hospice. I was going to stitch 93 squares, and Nikki was going to make them into the quilts and cushions for us. Dad wanted to do something too, so he paid for the quilt fabric. No sooner than I had started, I realized it was a lot of stitching to get done on my own, and that was when another friend from the craft forum stepped up to help, and Nikki suggested 2 other ladies she knew in the Netherlands who might like to help us. And that was when it truly became an international project. At the end, we had 9 quilts and 12 cushions, and being as sentimental as I am, every quilt and cushion had something that I had stitched upon it. Sadly, Dad never saw any of the finished quilts, as he passed away just 5 months after being diagnosed. But my 2 brothers and I decided it would be fitting to deliver everything to the hospice on what would have been his birthday the following year. I am fortunate to have met Nikki and even visited her home in Switzerland. But my main reason for sharing this is to highlight the generosity of people I didn't know and had never even spoken to. I know I could never have completed the project without their help, and I count my blessings to belong to such a kind and generous community that we see evidence of every day here on Flosstube. Sue, thank you so much for that beautiful story, a wonderful tribute to your father and to your brothers and yourself and Nikki and those other 2 ladies in the Netherlands and everyone who rallied together to make that idea that you and your father gave birth to that day overlooking those gardens at his hospice. Thank you for sharing it, and thank you for sharing it with me, and I'm thrilled to be able to share it with our neighbors here. I think we are in a world right now that we're besieged with so many frightful things. These kinds of stories need to be told and even though they are tinged with sadness, they are so affirming and uplifting to know that at the end of the day, we're human and we want to connect with each other. And one of the ways we can do so is through our crafting and our community and our kindness with each other. So I'm so pleased to be able to share Sue's story with each of you, Sue and her father. And you've seen the video, the photographs. She shared one other thing with me as well, and I have to put it up here. This is one of her little cats. This was a rescue, Emily, an actual photograph of Emily. And this is what Sue did for Emily when she received a CD, a free CD with a Xrossstitch magazine, and discovered you can turn photos into patterns. This was her full attempt at a full coverage piece of Emily, and it's adorable as well. So, Sue, thank you so much. You touched my heart, and I think you will have touched everyone's hearts who have heard this story today. And Sue is on Instagram at I'd Rather Be Stitchin'. So if you want to follow her there, I know that she would appreciate it. And thank you so much. I love doing these Neighbors Corners episodes. I am planning another, and I know many of you have sent me things and you haven't seen them yet. Hold on, because I'm going to do another full episode probably in the next month. And peppered throughout here and there will be days like today where I feature one specific story. But please keep them coming, because that's part of this neighborhood. And you are all part of the neighborhood, so I love sharing. Thank you, Sue. Take care. On May the 17th of 2021, I posted my first Flosstube video. Next week, I will post my 49th Flosstube video on May 17th of 2022, which means that my 1-year anniversary is exactly a year. You know what I mean. So next week will be a very special episode. We will kick off, finally, the hashtag Merry Will Sal. And I'm very excited about that. It is floral related, specifically daffodil related, jonquil, whatever you want to call it, the King Alfred jonquils, whatever you want to call it. But I'll give you all the information about that. We will be associating it with a charitable push, a charitable drive, because I want to keep that as a through line here at Xrossstitch. I always want to do something to be helping other people. But we will begin that next week as part of the 1-year celebration of Xrossstitch. I'm so excited. I can't believe it's been a year. What an amazing year it's been. It has just been the most rewarding experience having this Flosstube channel, getting to know all of you who I do feel are my friends and extended family. So, and I have no intention of stopping anytime soon. So, batten down the hatches. Here we go. But next week will be a very special edition of Xrossstitch. I'm going to re-air the story that inspired the Sal, the Miss Mary Will story, and we'll have a great time with lots of fun giveaways and all sorts of things. But this week in Happy Mail, I received a gift for my 1-year Flosstube anniversary from my dear friend Kathy at the Flosstube channel To Die House. I received this triangular package, had no idea what it was, and I saw her name on it and I'm like, what has she done? What has she done? Well, what did she do? I'll show you what she did. She sent me 2 things. One, and she, by the way, she crafted all these things. If you don't watch Kathy over at Dye House. You should. She's just delightful. She's also co-sponsoring the hashtag Still Fresh Fruit Sal with me, and she is barreled past me. Barreled. And it's a beautiful combination of colors. Go check her out. She's wonderful. This amazingly cute ort jar, which, as you see, is already full of orts. I have like 3 of these around the places that I stitch, so it totally came in handy. And a little pincushion top. Love it. Love it. Amazing. And most wonderfully, you know, I don't fold. I use project bags, but my project bags are for my flosses and my charts and anything that goes with the project. I don't like folding. I'm just that way. Virgo rising. I'm just very, I like to keep mine rolled up on my scrolls or keep them a certain way. She made me one of these cylindrical rolled project keepers. I love this. Beautiful, a ribbon closure. And I don't know if you've never seen these. If you look, well, it all came, hold on. There we go. This is literally so you can put your project and then roll it up so that it stays nice and uncreased and just perfect. And you can hold flosses in there. This is a fleecy material, which so it doesn't slide around. Love the gray fabric. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? And this this tealy peacock blue is one of my favorite colors. It just, I just love it so much. Thank you, Kathy, so much. What a sweet, sweet thing for you to do. And what a wonderful idea for those of you who may not be familiar with this. It feels weird to say that to you guys because I know, oh, do you see things floating around? Because I feel like most of you, 99% of you are savvy to all things cross stitch, so you probably have seen these before, but for the few people who may be new or have never seen one of these are amazing. So thank you, Kathy, again. I love it. I love you. And I can't wait to put something in this. Probably Minerva. When I start Minerva, that's what I'll put. We had some wonderful giveaways that I announced last week. All were courtesy of the great folks at Fat Quarter Shop. Fat Quarter Shop and It's So Emma. And I offered some quilt things last week. And I have winners to announce to you. So 3 of these were quilt charts, quilt patterns charts. Do you call them quilt patterns? They're not quilt charts. I guess you could, anyway, whatever. 3 of these were quilting related and 1 was cross stitch related. Again, all provided by the lovely folks at Fat Quarter Shop. And the first was this that you're seeing right now. Away we go. A smaller quilt, a lap quilt or a baby quilt. Keyword for this was away. And the winner of this, Jan Kobilis. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Jan Kobilis. Congratulations. You are the winner of Away We Go. Next, a really beautiful quilt pattern. This one called Poinsettia. This looks complicated. I don't quilt. I'm not going to learn how to quilt. I don't have the room to quilt, but if I quilted and knew what I was doing, this would be one I would make. The winner of this one, Denise Marie. Denise, congratulations. This will be coming to you very soon. Next, another quilt. This is more of a holiday quilt, a very minimalist holiday quilt, but beautiful nonetheless, with color variations, called Rockin' Around. This goes to Drexen Daniela, longtime commenter and viewer of the channel. Congratulations, so happy for you. And finally, the singular cross-stitch chart from last week, this one called Baked with Love. This is adorable. This is 4 different smalls, these floss cards that Fat Quarter Shop does. It's so Emma. And the winner of this, Ruthie Durbin, another longtime viewer. Ruthie Durbin, congratulations. All of you, please email me your mailing addresses and I will get those out and I'm about to send out another big batch of giveaways. So if you haven't gotten them in the last 2 or 3 weeks, they will all be sent out this week or at the beginning of next week. So they will be coming your way. Please email me to the email address you see below and make sure you put the 3 S's in Xrossstitch so that I receive them. But congratulations to all the winners. And now we have some new giveaways to announce. This week is an all digital giveaway week. And I'm tickled about that because I can get them to you very quickly next week. And next week, as I mentioned previously, is going to be a big giveaway day in honor of my 1-year anniversary. I've got some wonderful things pulled for it. I have some other lovely contributions from Fat Quarter Shop to offer to you, products that they have currently. And it's going to be a big giveaway week, so make sure to tune in. But this week, all these 3 lovely charts are provided by our dear fellow neighbor and cross-stitch designer Amanda of Cobweb Rose. She is delightful, and she reached out and offered up these 3 PDF charts for my viewers. These are officially sanctioned, provided she will provide them to you. You have to be okay with me giving her your email address because she will send these directly to you. But if you're good with that, please enter. If you're not okay with me providing her with your email address, then don't sign up for it. But these are all lovely charts. The first, I think this is adorable, is simply called Cat Hair. And to all of you who, like me, have adorable feline fur babies and cross-stitch, you completely understand what this chart is all about. The keyword for this is going to be cat. C-A-T, cat. Next, I love this one. This is called In the Clouds. In the Clouds. Beautiful. Again, this is, I don't know that I would consider this a small, but this is a very manageable chart to finish, I would think. The key word for this, clouds. C-L-O-U-D-S, clouds. And thirdly, in anticipation of our spooky summer stitch summer, which will be starting very soon, this one, a beautiful graveyard scene. I think, graveyards are, there is a beauty all their own, have beauty all their own, I think. This one, the keyword, this is called graveyard. The keyword will be graveyard, all one word, graveyard. So Amanda, thank you so much for offering these up. I encourage you to check out Amanda's other designs. She is Cobweb Rose on Etsy, and she does beautiful work. These will be emailed to you once again, and please know if you enter the contest for them that you will be okay with me providing Amanda with your email address. So do be a subscriber to the channel, do like the video, and please don't use any strange words like winner or giveaway that might flag trolls to just want something for free. But we will announce those winners next week, and you will get those charts very shortly after the announcement is made. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I was so glad to bring out a couple of pieces that I have not shown in a while. I will have more new stuff, not new stuff. I will have more new old stuff next week. I'm going to put Miss Cherry Blossom away. I'm going to pull out Quaker Christmas because I got to get a page finish on that bad boy. I do. I'm probably will have a little more Spirits of the Dead to show you if my Selkie comes in, and maybe even something else. We'll see. But I was glad to have those things to show you today. I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead. I hope that when you need to, you remember to Chris it up. Focus on those moments of joy because they are there. They are there if we but look for them. And until then, you have a great week of stitching. Take care of yourselves. And until next week, bye-bye.